how the media describes it and how people react to these types of situations and these types of tragedies, I would beg to differ. Like, at work, it's awkward. And in public, it's even worse because there's this massive, humongoloid white elephant in the stratosphere and in front of us everywhere that no one will address. Like when the police as a whole is supposed to be an extension of the law and the enforcers of the law, but you don't know if the officer you're talking to is crooked or just, who do you call? That is why Black men and women are sounding the alarm. That is why we're all running scared and very bitter, and some people very angry, myself included. We want people to pay attention because this is not just a Black problem, this is an American problem. If they can get away with it with us, what makes you think they won't be able to get away with it with you? If we're the only ones saying that there's a problem and it needs to be fixed, it's a typical American thing. There's always something that an American is upset about or wants to be fixed, you know? AKA nothing will change. Nowadays, it's become such a regular thing. Facebook seems to be the outlet to show these things. Quite violent videos, might I say, because you really can't unsee somebody getting shot. You should probably rethink that before you show that to just about everybody. Still, these days, it's almost like you have to, otherwise no one will ever know the truth. For some of you, unjust killings, bringing out and converting people into racists. And it's weird how that works, isn't it? Like, we say we want justice and we say we want all this craziness to end, but it seems like both sides aren't helping. And it's just kind of like a snowball effect of negative fiddle-faddle. My Black brothers and sisters, you can speak on white privilege. Yes, it exists. Yes, it's a thing. But it's still our job to educate people on and educate our leaders by voting and writing letters and as many things as we can possibly do to make sure that people understand. But at the same time, it's not to bring a white person or any non-person that is not of color down just because they want to understand or they're trying to sympathize. Because then you are the problem. Non-people of color. It's a touchy subject, but the conversation needs to be had because this will go on for years, possibly even decades, because people are too afraid to have that conversation. It's almost like people don't want to have that conversation. Like, that's scary when no one wants to speak up. It's like being in a horror movie and knowing that no one will survive because no one wants to get in that car and drive home from that creepy cabin. People are too focused on who's driving. Knowing that no one will go and get ice cream because we're too focused on what flavor it is and what flavor tastes better. Won't go to the candy store because Skittles are better than M&Ms. Public issues aside, Skittles are better than M&Ms, I'm just saying. There are still some people that, if the conversation ever comes up, will instantly start talking about your clothing. If you dress properly, that you shouldn't have a problem. Shouldn't. I, for one, refuse to see a world created over hate and bigotry. A world where my kids are going to have to experience the same prejudices I did, maybe even worse at this point. Black children, it just hurts my heart to think that parents are still having the police talk with their children because of what they see on TV and how they still feel like their children won't be safe with the people that are supposed to protect them. Just about any person of color can identify with racism at some point, but I don't know anymore. I just don't. It's specifically on YouTube. I know it might be touchy, and I know there's probably a lot of people that are probably staying away from this topic because they don't want to send the wrong message, but as far as I'm concerned, and as far as my life is concerned, in my family, the message that I'm getting is not a good one, and it has me on guard at all times. And has me a little paranoid. Because I have this YouTube, that means someone is paying attention to me. And if you are paying attention, let your voice be heard. Because, and y'all know I love horror movies. It's like an actual horror movie, but we don't see the ending. I don't know when it's going to end. I can't tell myself, I can't turn off the movie or turn off the TV show and say it's not real, because it seems every other week there's something else that happens to tell me you're not dreaming. This is really happening. It used to just be on your best behavior and don't break the rules. Now it's, if you get pulled over, don't move. Let them do everything. Because just about anything can provoke an officer. When I say people aren't having the conversation, the people that care are having the conversation. The people that are convinced that the person that is getting killed by police is at fault when 4 times, 4 times, we have seen that it was something that could have been avoided and they did not have to lose their life for it. I'm sorry, I just can't level with you there. Let me try and bring this home for all of you. How would you feel if you saw my name as a hashtag? How would you feel if you saw my name on a t-shirt, a picket sign? How would you feel if you saw my name on the 6 o'clock news as the latest victim of police brutality? Those are the questions that encompass what Black Lives Matter is about. It's the idea and the fear and the very real possibility that any one of your Black friends or your friends that are people of color could easily be gone the next day because of police. That is the conversation that needs to be had. How would you feel if it was somebody you knew? That is what I want to leave you with. With that being said, I'm opening the conversation. Tell me what you think down in the comments, because honestly, I'd like to know. If the conversation isn't going on anywhere else, let it start with me. You can talk to me on my social media, and you can also talk to me on Snapchat too. Snap me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And I'll try and get back to the regular schedule, because I've been trying to do Wednesdays, but it's starting to get really difficult. So I'll just try and post a video every week if that works for you. And I will hopefully see you next week. Be safe and know that I'm trying to hug you as much as I possibly can, and many others. I will hopefully see you next week. Bye.